Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the EDM Grid podcast. My name is Henry, also known as Henkray, and for those of you watching, happy Halloween everyone. That should hopefully explain why the background is orange and the thumbnail is also orange. I haven't had an identity crisis halfway through. And
we're not
speaking of
we're
orange,
not
we've got...
we don't have the budget for that.
Definitely. we don't have the money for this.
Nope.
But speaking of orange, we have got our favorite co-host, Orange Bird, and also technically our least favorite because he's the only one. It's Oswald. You're the favorite and the least favorite. You're just everything. You're all in one.
I mean, yeah, no, sure. Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
You're everything and yet nothing at the same time. I don't know what's happening, ladies and gentlemen, but what I do know is happening is we have got a very special guest for this episode for Halloween, because this will be uploaded on the 31st. I wanted to try and find the spookiest label of all of underground EDM. That's the title of the video, in case you didn't know.
Wow.
We have got on SCAVENGER, insane dubstep producer who also owns Unbeyond Anthologies. Go check the label out. It's genuinely incredible. I really like the label. SCAVENGER, how are you doing this afternoon for you?
I'm doing okay. I am a bit sleep deprived.
Who isn't?
Damn.
We're all tired.
Sleep for dummies, like, who needs that?
Oswald's been out all day. SCAVENGER's sleep deprived, and I'm here, and it's I've been doing
You're
well
chilling,
all day.
yeah, no.
I'm chilling. Scav, I have to ask you, because I've been wondering this, and I did mention this before the recording started. I did say that you have the spookiest branding, that I've seen so far, I think. What made you come up with that? Because it's very cult-like from what I've seen. Like, Unbeyond, you've got the Gardener, you've also got yourself. I remember that Neoluminum release. You had like a bunch of trailers of just the AI speaking voice. Well, not AI, but text-to-speech voice saying some spooky stuff. What's the inspiration behind that?
Well, to start with Unbeyond, I've just always been drawn to horror stuff, and with Unbeyond, the biggest inspiration visually was the Twilight Zone, just the monochrome and kind of ominous theming. And as for the cult element, it just kind of came naturally to me, because I feel like there's something kind of amusing about a record label that is just like, the theming is that it's a very poorly disguised cult or that's doing a bunch of nefarious things, and the theming is overt with like that the label is evil, and I just find that very funny.
So every release is sort of contributing to, like, it's a sacrifice to the gods, to the Gardener.
Yes.
Evil music.
The evil.
I love it.
Dubstep is evil, to be fair. What about like?
True.
Because you have also got that sort of theming as well for you as an artist. So is this sort of something which you've carried on with, or is this something more new to you as well?
I think, like, since the beginning of making my own art, I've always been drawn to like horror theming, and with my music it's a bit more in depth. I do actually have a narrative binding everything together, but I think, like, with my music, a lot of it was inspired by, if you've ever seen the web series Marble Hornets, that was a big inspiration. Like, old Flash games, old indie games that kind of have an off-kilter, spooky vibe. Also just like general internet horror stories, old horror stories. I sample a lot of gothic literature, like being read aloud. And I think it just generally, like, when it comes to, I find expressing myself through the medium of things that are frightening or unsettling or just plain off is closest to my general vision.
So wait,
Oh,
is this
that sounds really
something
nice.
that-
Yeah.
So the main sort of inspiration behind why you started this very gothic alias and label was because of like things you read or like literature, and not really because I thought it was horror games to start, because there's a lot of stuff quite similar in games that I've played that is very similar to the stuff that you make, but you're saying that it was more novels and book stuff.
It's definitely a mix of different mediums. Like there's games that have had an immense impact. There's also music. Like I'm very inspired by Boards of Canada and their kind of off-kilter, sometimes frightening retro electronic sound, and literature, and also some TV shows, some movies. I take a lot of stuff in, but I would say video games, one of the biggest ones. Like just my music has that general bit crushed kind of retro sound to it. A lot of my early inspiration was kind of trying to capture the feeling of reading like video game creepypastas when you were a kid, and translating that into music form, that kind of feeling of like the haunted video game. That was a big inspiration
taking me
of
back
mine.
to Lavender Town for
Yeah.
That's funny because one of my songs
That
has like a direct homage to that in
Really?
the songwriting. Yeah.
Wait, what song? Hold on, I'm doing research as we speak.
Effigy is the song. It's not one-to-one, but if you listen to the melody, you can hear the influence from the Lavender Town theme.
Nice.
That's really interesting then, because I wonder, and this is a thought I had myself, wouldn't it be funny if you just had an alias that was the complete opposite of all of this? That was just like complete fun, like happy theming, and then
rainbows and sunshine.
and then you do a complete 180, and then it's just spooky dubstep the entire time.
I have considered like telling nobody and creating a secret alias that I just release completely different music under and letting nobody know about it. But I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
So you'll do it. Hopefully, maybe.
If I have free time.
So basically, what we're trying to say.
Watch out for
next,
nuclear-based artists.
In the next couple of months, if we see a new artist pop up that makes like happy-go-lucky songs, we know.
Hyper colored dubstep or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I must ask, like, I do kind of, I'm curious and want to know, what's it about like frightening and mysterious and this kind of dark vibe that you are, what is it about that gets you drawn to so much? Like, of course, there's people who hate it, and not myself included. I kind of really cool
stuff. I'm really scared.
Yeah, right. Like, there's weak people like Henry, and there's like cool people. So no, but I just want to know what is it about that you like it the most about it?
I think art that delves into negative feelings and hurt and pain generally is what captivates me the most. And when it comes to my music and just my art in general, a lot of what inspires me are things that I don't understand, things that challenge me, in my notions of life. And I just find it really interesting to I don't want to say that dubstep is like toothless, but I feel like a lot of dubstep that tries to be scary isn't. It's just loud, I want to make stuff that's actually a little bit unnerving and kind of makes your skin crawl. And I think I've mentioned this before to people, but one of the biggest goals I have with my music is to capture a feeling of wrongness, a sense of like, as if you're listening to music coming from an alternate dimension where everything is slightly different, where all of the genres that are just a little bit weird. There's just something wrong, but you can't quite place it.
Right. Wow.
So then how much sort of this content do you actually consume in your day to day? Because is it just something which you base your theme around but you don't really look into that much? Is it like your whole life is obsessed with this sort of thing?
It depends. I don't generally like horror movies because they often tend to trend towards like violence, and I don't like. I'm squeamish with that sort of thing. But like
Horror movies are
psychological
never
horror
scary,
is something that I really enjoy, and also a big influence on my music is nightmares that I have. Like I will try to channel nightmares that I have into songs.
So then
Whoa,
whenever
that's interesting.
if you wake up and you forget a nightmare, it's just like, damn it, man, that was a song. That could have been a song.
Usually nightmares are like fucking embedded into your brain and they're traumatizing you. Like, wow.
So then, give me some like other inspiration pieces, because we've talked about Lavender Town, we've talked about sort of novels. I want to hear more of just stuff that I can look into and go, yeah, that's Scavenger coded. What other things inspire you to sort of have this theming? I just love talking.
I
about
alluded
this.
to it before. Well, I mentioned it before. Boards of Canada, I would definitely suggest listening to their album GeoGaddy, because it is like released in the early 2000s, and it's analog horror before analog horror was ever a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is just such an unsettling album, and really captures like this primitive electronic feeling. It's such a frightening and deep, like kind of it really hits your core because it's very based on nostalgia, but it kind of twists nostalgia in a very unsettling way. And if you want an actually really old album that I like a lot, Ruth White is an early electronic pioneer from like the 60s, and her album Flowers of Evil is a experimental electronic album mixed with poetry readings, and it is one of my favorites ever. It is chilling and one of the most inspiring things that I've ever listened to.
Wow.
It's really fascinating to sort of hear how much lore is embedded with all the things you do. And I don't know, I just find it really, really fun how you have this idea which is really sort of spooky, and then you thought, why not just make a label with it? That's just
Right.
It's really, I think we should talk about that label now, because it is such an incredible label. I first wanted to ask you to get into this into this topic. What is your favorite release that you have done so far with Unbeyond Anthologies? Damn. I'm gonna get straight into the deep end. What is your favorite release that you've ever had on Unbeyond Anthologies?
My own music or somebody else's music?
I mean, you can do whatever. If you really like a song that you put out there, then you can say that. But if you really like another song, then shout out the song that you.
Yeah, that's
really
also
like.
fair. Yeah.
I'll stick to other people's music because I feel like it's a bit unfair to be like, well, I'm the best.
That's valid. No, but that's valid.
Ink.'s EP, Ink.'s EP Lurker is off the wall, experimental and freaky. It's incredible. Sombra's trilogy of EPs, just incredible, kind of noir driven jazzy dubstep and house and all that. I guess this is a song that I was a part of, but I feel like it was a collaboration, so I can give the credit to the collaborators. Tender Soul with Renipla and Desks and all those others. Just one of the coolest things I've ever heard, and I'm very proud to have been a part of it. And of course, the big compilation Unbeyond Anthology 2 that we released earlier this year. Just, I mean, a no-skip compilation for me, and I know I'm biased, but I really do think it's incredible.
So I want to go back to the start then, because what was the initial sort of idea for starting Unbeyond Anthologies? We talked a lot how you thought it would be funny to create a label that was also a cult, but was there anything more to that while you were starting out? Like, was there much planning, or was it just kind of take it and
like
see who was interested, and then go from there?
Well, the label was being worked on for over half a year before it launched. I was preparing it and planning it for quite a while. And the original intent behind it was, around then, it was 2023 when I was starting to conceptualize it. I was really frustrated with the direction the scene was going, because I felt like there were very few avenues for artists who were operating outside of the box and doing things that maybe go against the norms, go against the trends. Felt like there weren't many opportunities, and I could sit there and bellyache all day about how I don't like the direction the scene is going, or I could do something about it. So I started a label that would hopefully give a home to these artists who are a bit more outside of the box, who do things differently, and who maybe make music that isn't conventional or broadly appealing.
So when you sort of accept songs for the label, do you look for songs that are more experimental, or do you sort of go with what appeals to you the most?
I would say a mix of both. I'm always looking for things that challenge me and are kind of expanding my mind in terms of what people can do with bass music. But also, I think part of the appeal of the label and the reason that we have such like a tight quality control is that I'm a picky bastard. I'm a very picky bastard when it comes to music. And I think the label would be less regarded if, I was just accepting anything that came my way, if it was, if it was good enough. One of the things, is a little bit of a joke between me and the other A&Rs a little while ago, was that I always give submissions a rating of like conceptually not interesting. Like that's just one of the most common ratings that I give, because I'm such a stickler for wanting to hear weird things. I want to hear eccentric sounds, and I think that is kind of why the label has gained its own little niche in the underground, is because it's doing weird stuff that people aren't doing elsewhere.
Have you found that then now more people who are doing that weird sort of thing are coming to you to then go, hey, I think this song would work really well, or has it stayed similar since the beginning?
It's definitely gotten better where we've got more out there artists joining in, because early on, when I was starting the label, as much as I did want to platform unique stuff, there was also the mentality of like, well, you'll take what you can get, right? Because just starting out, we didn't really have much of a platform, so it was just like, well, it isn't insane, but we'll take it because it's like, we need to get something out there. But as time has gone on and we've gotten more unique artists coming in, we've gotten people who are really pushing the boundaries, we're able to be more selective, and we're just kind of building this great community of weird artists.
How long did it take you then to get to that point where sort of people were coming to you and going, hey, I really like your label, can I release a song on it?
Half a year, I think. I feel like the first 6 months of the label were like the test run. We were still figuring things out. By the time we released our first major compilation, I feel like we had finally found our groove. Not to say that it was just perfect sailing from then on out, but I think comparatively now what we're doing, we're drawing more people in, and we're doing what we do better than we were early on.
What do you think? This question has come to me now because you say that you've sort of found your rhythm, and you've sort of found what you should do and what you should have been doing from the start. What thing do you think has changed the most then from starting to now with Unbeyond Anthologies?
Actually accepting help from people on work. There was a period of time where I was doing like literally everything myself, and it was destroying me. It was destroying my mental health. And being able to realize that I can ask people for help and get other staff members did actually help quite a bit.
How many people do you have now then?
I don't know the exact number. Let me count right now.
I know you've got a pretty big A&R team.
4, 5, 6, 7,
you have
8,
to count
9,
then it's
10, 11, 12. We have 13 people, including me, on the team.
Nice.
How many people do what then? Because usually there's like 3 on A&R, a couple for like visual art, couple for like community management stuff,
and promotion. I'm guessing too.
Like a lot of the staff are picking up multiple roles. Like Sombra, who you know, is kind of like I would say a second in command, you know, doing A&R, but also doing some management and helping me with decisions and stuff like that. And then there's Shimmy Violet, incredible person, by the way, who does A&R, but also does visuals. And I do A&R visuals, and I do social media, and then I have people helping with promotion and all that. So
it's kind of like whatever goes with whoever wants that. Guessing.
Yes.
Right.
So how much has then that sort of come through? Like, was it a kind of period where you just tried to get as many people as you could, or was it a case of people slowly started to then go, hey, can I help you with this?
Well, as I mentioned before, there was a long period of time where I was doing basically everything myself, and it was really, really harmful to me. And it was causing me a lot of issues. And it got to a point sometime, I don't even remember, in 2025, it was like the spring or so, which is earlier this year, where I just kind of like, I can't do this anymore. If the label is going to continue, I need more help. So I made a call. I was like, who wants to help? And the response, I had so many people reach out, like, I want to help. And we were able to go from like basically me and Sombra being the 2 people doing work to like, you know, a bunch of people who are now active and helping through every step of the process. And it just kind of flipped things around, I would say.
I want to talk about now compilations, because they are a pretty big part of Unbeyond. You do them quite regularly. What is the process behind you planning a compilation? Because I do ask this to a lot of people, because I am interested in sort of how every label does things differently. How long does it take? And sort of what is the planning process with that sort of time of you going, I want to do this, let's make a compilation?
For our biggest compilations, the Unbeyond Anthology series, like the 1 and 2, we get a head start on it very early. Unbeyond Anthology 1 was like, we started getting the first songs in that August 2023. Then it released June 2024. For Unbeyond Anthology 2, it was like September to October, and then it released in June next year. And it's kind of same thing is happening now. What I'm doing right now for Unbeyond Anthology 3, which is our next compilation releasing next June. I mean, it's kind of not really a spoiler because we've been doing them yearly. It's like you can kind of expect it. I've opened submissions specifically to our inductees, which is like our mainstays. It's a silly name that I came up with to tie in with the cult theming. It just means mainstays. And so I've given the mainstays an opportunity to like get their songs in early. I'll probably start opening the floor to submissions from non-inductees like around the new year. And I would say around like a month before the deadline is when we're really starting to finalize things. We're starting to, lock things into place. But we have like a long period of time where people can just send in stuff, and I find that works best for me because I don't like building a compilation under a short time frame. I like having over a long time frame people bringing in songs, slowly but surely building this up. And usually once we start getting closer to the deadline, I'm starting to kind of formulate in my head, okay, like track list, I make the cover, I start planning the rollout and stuff like that. Then like once the deadline hits, then it's like, okay, it's time to finalize the track list. And I could ramble all day about my method for track listing because it's something that I nerd out about. And, you know, then we decide singles and, you know, start coordinating with the artist, like on specifically what the schedule is, what's going to happen every step of the process. By this point, we've hopefully got the mix that ties in with the compilation done. We're working on visuals at this point and just getting everything ready. And one other thing that we do that was kind of started on a whim with the first compilation, and it went really well, so I did it with the second, is we, for like a month before even announcing the compilation, we roll out these riddles in the Discord server, and each riddle is related to the name of one of the songs on the compilation. And if people guess the riddles right, they get a special roll and everything. And it's a really fun community thing that I'm definitely not going to stop anytime soon.
Again, also just ties into the cult thing of like you need to guess the riddle in order to solve.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like freaking secret group or something. Like it's cool.
Yeah.
How many people then submit to the compilations? Do you find, or sort of get involved? And also, how many demos do you get, like per month, for example?
Well, when it comes to like the demos we get, at this point we're getting like definitely like there's been periods of times where we're getting more in a week than there are days in the week. We're getting multiple every day. We're, you know, kind of, you know, sometimes we've struggled to keep up with like this huge influx of demos. The compilations are usually the ones that we get the most submissions for. Like I'd say, if I crunch the numbers, we probably get submissions that are marked as for a compilation more than we do as for a main release. And yeah, we get a lot of demos, and it's tough. You know, we've gotten to a point where like not even good cuts it. It needs to be great because we're just getting so many really good submissions that we have to be super picky.
The bar's really high then. Wow.
Yeah.
How many like how long does it take to listen to all of the songs that have been submitted? Because it probably takes a large chunk of a day to sit down and have to listen through all of them and see what makes the cut and see what doesn't.
The listening doesn't take too long for me because I'm pretty proactive on these things. I listen to them as they get sent in. So it's not like it doesn't build up and then I'm just like, oh, I've got like 2 hours of listening ahead of me. I mean, it depends. Sometimes somebody sends in an album.
Sometimes it happens.
Sometimes I get an album and even if it's a good album, I'm just like, oh boy, I'm going to be listening to stuff. But really what takes the longest is deciding, because on top of just the other A&Rs throwing their opinions into the ring, I have to think about these things a lot. It's often not very clear cut what my decision is going to be. I have to kind of sit down and think about like, is this something that I would be sore over passing up? Or is this something that I think has potential, you know?
How often do you and the A&Rs then clash over what you think should and shouldn't be on the label?
Sometimes, not very often, but sometimes. We're usually on the same page of what fits the label. There has been a bit of like, you know, contention on like stuff that's more light and melodic, but I feel like we're getting to a point where it's like we can allow a few outliers if the music is good, you know?
Right.
All right. So I'm gonna ask this. You don't reveal what you don't want to reveal, but I want to know what's in store for the future of Unbeyond Anthologies, because it is an incredible label, and I want to know where it's going to be headed in the next sort of few months or year. What kind of stuff do you have planned?
Well, in the immediate future, obviously I'm rolling out my EP right now. We have a pretty hefty compilation just around the corner.
Ooh.
And a few more compilations that are a little bit further away. We've got a bunch of new artists showing up. We have the first album that we've platformed on the label coming somewhat soon. A collaboration with another label is being planned. We have a bunch of artists who are cooking up EPs for us right now. We're currently looking for ways to add more things to our portfolio of stuff that we do. We're considering merch. Don't know when that's going to happen, so no promises. But we're also working on a brand new website, and of course we are working on our biggest compilation yet for next June.
Can't wait to see it.
Whoa, that's
it's a
exciting.
lot.
Yeah. Wow.
Especially like
A lot of EPs and
merch
albums.
as well.
You know.
Did you think that you'd
Yeah.
get to the point where you'd be considering merch so soon?
I'll be honest, when I started the label, I was like, this is either going to go like kind of well, or it's going to end within 3 months. And it's gone very well. I got option 3, and I didn't even know option 3 was in the cards.
And you pick C.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be option B. It ends in 3 months, because I was just like, that's kind of what a lot of underground labels do. And I was just like,
you have the passion, realize how hard it's going to be, and then you go and you realize it was a mistake.
yeah.
I'm glad the reception it's gotten from what I've seen is incredible. I know quite a few people who have featured on the label, especially that Desks sort of release. I had that on my release radar randomly on Spotify, and I listened to it. I found the artist, the cover art, really, really funny, because you're not denying the cult allegations anytime soon with that one. You're really not.
That's true, yeah.
It was literally...
Also, fun fact,
oh,
that cover art is drawn by the same person who did the Neoluminum Cloudy EP.
oh.
Whoa.
Who,
Yeah.
wait,
Okay.
who?
Okay.
Oh, I don't remember their name. I need to check immediately so that I can direct people to their work, because
Oh, is
They're-
cool.
I think I might know who they
Ionema
are.
242.
Right. Ionema 242.
Mhm.
I don't know. Their art's coded actually. You
Absolutely.
mentioned that.
Scav, I want to
there.
talk about your...
Mhm.
Speaking of art, I think now is a good time to speak about you as an artist as well, because you are also a very, very good musician. I did mention the Neoluminum release before that we are definitely going to talk about. Do you do your own art for your releases?
Mostly, kind of. I have a close collaborator by the name of Not Wendy, who helps me with drawn elements. So when you look at that Neo AB, the drawing of the house on the hill and the drawing of the caverns with the teeth, that's my friend Not Wendy, who is just an incredible artist. We're just always on the same wavelength, and it's I genuinely wouldn't trust anybody but him to help me with my visual direction.
Is he also into the same sort of imagery that you're into?
Yeah, I would say so. His personal art is very macabre.
Nice.
So what made you want to start doing this alias of yours. What got you into making dubstep in the first place?
So it's kind of a funny story.
Mhm.
So in the grand scheme of things, I haven't been producing seriously for very long. I started producing at the start of 2022, which often surprises people because they think I've been producing for longer.
Yeah, no, that's actually really, yeah.
And if
interesting.
you remember something about 2022, there's a certain label that started around spring of 2022. You might not have heard of it. It's called Neo Aluminum.
Of course.
Yeah,
See-
no, don't recall it. Yep.
I was part of the original Neo Aluminum friend group. Like I use this example a lot, but I was in the in the chat when people were deciding its name, and I saw my friends, they were working on this label, and I'm like, well, I don't want to be left out.
Right.
So I started taking music seriously because I was like, I wanna join in on this cool thing my friends are doing. And then I kind of discovered my own sound, and I was like, oh my god, this music
Whoa.
thing.
Did you
The
discover dubstep
the power
around
of
that time?
FOMO.
Oh no. If you were to guess how long I've been listening to dubstep, when do you think it would be?
I'm
mean-
guessing same as 2022. Maybe, I don't know.
See,
I
you're
don't-
gonna say
I wouldn't
you're
think
gonna
so.
say 2014, and it's gonna be like, well, damn.
2011, actually.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
wow.
damn, well, damn.
Okay, damn. Yeah.
And yes, I know it is silly that I didn't start producing until 10 years after getting into the genre. I know it's very stupid, but I was lazy, okay?
Aren't
But
we all?
you've always been. Have you been always drawn into like music making or production, and you just didn't do it, but like kind of have, or why is
One
it
of the
that you
funny
take so
things
long?
is- One of the funny things is that for years and years, I would imagine album ideas and like aliases and projects that I could do if I started making music. I just never started making music because there's multiple reasons. Generally, for a long period of my life, I did not have the time for reasons I'm not going to get into. It's not good reasons. It's very sad and unfortunate reasons. But also it is partially like laziness, and also this assumption that like it's a pipe dream. I could never make music like the artist that I like. And so I put it off because it's like, I'm never going to be able to do that. That's just going to always be an imaginary thing. But then I started doing it, and then I got good at it, and now I am doing it.
Right.
Give me some early artists that were your biggest inspirations. Give me some 2011 bangers. Obviously, say the
I mean,
obvious
of
one.
course,
Say Skrillex.
apart from Skrillex. Yeah,
course.
apart from Skrillex.
I would say the main ones. I mean, if you listen to my music and then you listen to Eptic's music, you're gonna see the where the inspiration
I
for
hear
my
it.
eccentric
I hear it.
styling
Definitely.
comes from.
I hear it.
Eptic's so
And,
good. Like, yeah. I totally
I mean,
get it.
Eptic was the artist that I had been listening to dubstep for a little bit before I discovered Eptic, because I discovered Eptic late 2011 and I started listening in early 2011. But if there's any artist that made me a lifelong fan of dubstep, it was him. He is who locked me in to this genre. And then as for other artists that have inspired me, Dubloads, another very quirky, eccentric artist, Culprit, Lax, Must Die, 501, Bar 9, who else? The Frederick, Raw Tech.
So
I have kind of like
you've been very interested in experimental EDM for the entire time that you've been listening to it.
Definitely. I think it's the autism. The autism is like, I like weird music.
No, but like that's actually really cool, because like you can hear new stuff, and that's it's so fucking satisfying.
What was the first sort of moment which made you believe, oh yeah, I'm actually good at doing this, and this is something that I could be doing for a while and have it be really good?
I would say it was honestly like not that long ago that I kind of had the realization that, like, wait, I'm actually making stuff that I really, really like. I would honestly say it was the start of this year where I kind of just, like, it clicked into place, and I was like, I'm actually, like, making my favorite dubstep. Like, I'm making the kind of stuff that I want to listen to.
Do you do you find that it helps to make stuff and then go, would I listen to this? Yes, then it's probably a good song.
Yeah, absolutely. I have scrapped, oh god, what's the fucking number? I had a number of like the amount of songs that I've scrapped, and it's triple digits.
Oh.
Damn, but like you count that? That's wild.
Well, the thing is, I can look through my, because I don't like delete project files. I just put them in a folder where they gather dust forever. Right. So I can count. I can see how many projects that I've worked on. But I've finished so many songs.
Project file.
Yeah, I finished so many songs and then realized, wait, I don't actually like this, and then it just disappears into the ether, never to be heard by anyone.
Do you ever revisit them? Like, do you ever go back and listen to them and then go, oh wait, this was actually pretty good, and I actually do want to release this?
Or maybe just find inspiration from
it both, yes. I've reworked old songs into completely new songs. And fun fact, we were talking about the AB on Neoluminum. The second song on there, Poltergeist, is 3 years old.
Ooh.
Whoa. That's great, dude. 3 years holding us with
3 years holding on to it.
That's cruel.
Finally going back and going, oh yeah, no, let's release that.
It did need like quite a bit of touching up to be up to my current standards, but you know, still.
I think we should talk about that Neoluminum release, because I found it quite fascinating. What was the process of you submitting to it and then getting into it? Did you find that it was easier because you knew the people from when they were starting it and sort of going through it? Also, cross tunes, which is excellent, and you also know the group from that. So what was then going through and actually getting your first song on Neoluminum, if I'm not missing anything?
The first one was on the Pillow Fort compilation earlier in the year, Magic Missile. Like, yes, the one the compilation that also has Convexity and Vive 5000. You know, because I'm still in the friend group, and I got the opportunity to release Magic Missile on that Pillow Fort compilation, and I think that for the longest time I kind of doubted myself about being able to get on other labels, because my music is just so weird. Like, I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
But that song, Magic Missile, was like kind of my foot in the door to realize, okay, maybe I can do this. And I sent songs over to Neoluminum, and they liked Lined with Teeth and Poltergeist. And so then I kind of spent the next month, you know, as I often do with releases, obsessing over every little detail and really trying to craft a special rollout for it.
It showed, because there was a lot of promotional video as well, and I remember getting the pings and sort of looking at the chat and seeing, as I said earlier, the sort of videos that would play before the actual songs were released, and it was like, damn, this is very, very intricate for both of the songs. I'm scrolling up on the chat now.
Yeah. It's funny though. I feel like my attention to detail is like slowly killing me. I feel like I am overworking myself a bit on these releases, and I'm doing so many of them. I am getting very burnt out, and I have this, you know, my EP releasing very soon, like next week. And I think after this, I might take like a few months break from releasing stuff, just so that I can recharge.
The comeback is gonna be absolutely legendary.
That's true, yeah. Like, whoa.
How have you stayed motivated throughout this entire time then? Because you did say that you started to take it more seriously early 2022. So has there been more moments apart from obviously Unbeyond Anthologies, which you sort of went, right, I can't really go on like this. Have there been any other times which you sort of found it difficult to stay motivated?
Definitely last year, 2024, was a difficult year for me, because it was before this year is when I kind of really realized that I was making the stuff that I want to hear. Before that, I had a lot of self-doubt, and I was not sure about my creative worth, and it was really difficult to just carry on making music. And I think what did kind of re-inspire me and reignite that fire, bringing it up again, not just this EP that I'm rolling out now, but also the EP before it. It's part of a trilogy of EPs, the Book of Sorrows EPs. I released the first one in April, second one is releasing just next week. This project, which is 3 EPs, each 6 songs, so it's 18 songs in total, and each one has its own unique cover art and its own lore and just all of these moving parts. It was such a invigorating project to work on because it is something that I've never seen anybody do in dubstep, and it just felt like it was the project that I needed to make. I needed to do it, and that really kept me going, and I'm glad that it did.
So I want to ask then, what is the future of Scavenger Songs? What sort of projects after that, after your break, which you said you were planning to take? What is some of the stuff that we could see you make in the near future, or that you said you might be able to make in the near future?
Well, I will have to release the 3rd and final EP in the Book of Sorrows trilogy. I'm unsure if that will be spring of next year or summer of next year. I don't want to rush it. I'm going to take as much time as I need to make it perfect. After that, I do want to release a project or two that is maybe smaller in scope, something that is a bit less involved, something that I can just be like, I'm just releasing music. It's not the whole insane amount of effort isn't as present. Not that I don't care about it, but more I'm not melting my brain trying to create so much material. Something a bit more low stakes, a fun release, one that isn't a massive undertaking. What will be my next massive undertaking is I can say this because it's a completely like a set in stone idea that I'm eventually going to do, is a debut album eventually.
Ooh.
Can't wait.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, a debut album is always a very big step in someone's career, I feel like.
It's already got like 6-7 IDs stocked up for it right now. They aren't finished yet, but they're a work in progress. There's quite. And
I'm guessing you have like a lore or kind of vision around it.
Well, I would say the thing with lore is that not all of my music, some of it is non-canonical, but a lot of it is all connected narratively in a universe that I've created. I have a document that I will never show anybody that kind of lists the ways all of the narratives in all of my projects are connected.
Wow.
And as somebody who, I started taking music seriously, but I feel like although music is like kind of my current main thing, deep down, I am a writer first, a musician second. I like telling stories. And so adding lore to my music was just like a no-brainer. And so I've created just this entire world that goes around my music. And it's it's going to be, because one of the most important things for me is that even though there is this like interconnected story between all of my music, I also want each project to be able to stand on its own as its own individual story. So really, you'll have to squint to see the connections, but they are there.
Really interesting.
I wanted to ask as well, has there been any times which you wanted to venture out into other genres or sort of make something different than experimental dubstep?
Well, I have, for Scavenger, I do dabble in house, and drum and bass, and a bunch of different bass music genres, including some EDM. I've been dabbling in that as well. But when it comes to stuff that isn't dance music, like stuff outside of the dance music bubble, I have my other alias, Thistlewild, where I do ambient and poetry and just generally not dance music on that alias.
Okay.
All right. I feel like we are getting to the end of the episode now. So Oswald, I'm gonna let you ask the question.
Yeah.
Which you asked.
I mean, to be fair, like you've already talked about your big main inspirations and your favorite like artists and albums and inside and outside your label. But still, like, is there any kind of project, album, or song that you feel like needs a shout out that is one of your favorites? Or
your current favorite
generally
songs?
Yeah.
It's tough. I have so many favorite songs.
Shout them all out. Shout them all out.
Yeah, no.
Shout them all out. We're here. We're here to hear it. I love seeing what everyone's sort of current biggest songs are, because it's always a range. Some people say stuff that isn't EDM. Some people say stuff that, you know, is closely related to the scene. So what are some of your favorite stuff right now?
Let me open up my music bee and select some of the songs that I've been listening to lately. I've been really enjoying the new Feed Me album, especially a few songs off of it. Let Monica Go, Innie, Proud. I've been really enjoying that album. If you like house, if you like just really bass music in general, I think you'll like it quite a bit. Outside of the electronic bubble, one of the biggest things that I listen to on a regular basis is rock and folk. I've been listening to a lot of Adrienne Lenker and Big Thief lately. I've been listening to a post-punk band called Squid constantly this entire year. I love their most recent album, Cowards. It is a concept album about evil, and it is just such a crazy dystopian, thought-provoking album that I really enjoy a lot. And I always listen to my favorite band, Talking Heads, pretty much on the regular. And
wow. I'm gonna check them out. I haven't heard of them.
Big fan.
Nice.
Well,
my cousin is also getting me into REM, so.
Oh yeah, that's fair. So we have gotten to the end of the episode now, but Scav, before we go, now is your time to shout out any projects that you want to shout out. If you wanna shout out some of the songs which you've done that are releasing that you want to go people towards, everything will also be in the link in the description. But if you want to shout out anything out now, if you want to say anything,
your minute of fame. This is your minute.
yeah. Now is your time to say absolutely anything.
I've been talking about my EP rolling out right now, but by the time this podcast comes out, it will already be out. Listen to Book of Sorrows Chapter 2, and if you haven't heard it, listen to Book of Sorrows Chapter 1 from earlier in the year. They're my favorite projects that I've made to date. Very storytelling-based dubstep. Each song has its own unique cover and story to tell, and I put an insane amount of work into them, and I would really appreciate it if you check them out, because, I mean, the people that have listened have enjoyed it quite a bit. I'll say that much. One of my friends cried to the first song on Chapter 2.
Whoa. That's amazing. Yeah, super happy about that. So go listen. Definitely.
Is there anything else that you would want to shout out?
I'll just say I hope everybody listening has a wonderful day, and I hope the coming weeks are also wonderful. It's it's grim out there in the world, but I think if we take care of each other and look out for each other, I think everything will be great. And just remember to take care of yourself. Take mental health breaks if you need it, because I learned my lesson that I need to do that more. And I don't know, tell somebody you care about that you love them.
All right.
Oh, that's really wholesome.
That sounds like someone who is running a cult would say. Damn, figured you out now.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
I hope it's spooky time. Hope everyone enjoys their spooky time. I'll be
Trick or
out.
treat.
I'll be with friends.
I'll be on a DJ set at 4 a.m. That will be fun.
Ooh, 4 a.m.
Jeez,
Oh yeah,
Louise.
it's a whole story. I'll tell you about it.
Alright. But also,
yeah.
I'm also saying go check out Unbeyond Anthologies right now. Do it now. Do it.
Do it now. Yep.
Because it is such an incredible label, which I would highly recommend.
It's amazing.
But with all of that being said, once again,
Can I add
my
one more
name is
thing?
Henry, also known as
Can I add one
Hencray.
more thing?
Oh yeah, okay, go ahead. One more thing.
If this is airing on October 31st,
It is.
on the subject of the label, the rollout for our next release is starting tomorrow.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, November 1st.
Yes.
Okay.
Keep an eye out.
Okay.
So
Okay.
more reason to go check out that.
More
that
reason.
label, 'cause it's
Yeah.
so good. I can't. I can't say enough. But yeah. Once again, my name is Henry, also known as Hencray. I'm being joined by Oswald, aka Oswald, the most incredible the segments you've ever seen in your entire life. Thank you so much, Scavenger, for joining us on the podcast. It's been an absolute blast to record with you.
Of course. I'm very glad to have showed up.
Absolutely. We will see you on the next episode.